The Scottish Government will change the law to allow same-sex couples to marry. The Deputy First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, says it's the right thing to do. But tonight, one critic of the plan described it as a social experiment. Ministers are pressing ahead despite the strong opposition of many churches and mosques. Our political correspondent, Raymond Buchanan, reports.
Look how nervous you look.
What's in a word? Plenty to Nathan and Robert. This young couple are in love, in a civil partnership and in search of something more. Marriage.
My love for Robert is exactly the same as the love that a heterosexual couple have, and I want my marriage to be exactly the same as well, because that's true equality.
Today, Nathan and Robert's big day came a step closer. Ministers announced that after 10 months of looking at introducing same-sex marriage, they've decided to go ahead.
We believe legislating to allow loving couples to commit to each other in marriage is the right thing to do. But we are also deeply committed to the principles of freedom of speech and freedom of religion. And our decision will be accompanied by very strong protections. No church, no individual religious celebrant is going to be compelled to conduct same-sex marriages.
But she's going against the majority of those who responded to the government's consultation. 62,057 people living in Scotland replied. Of those, 64% were against reform, 36% were for.
Despite the government saying we want a consultation, we want all voices to be heard, they've decided to ignore the majority.
Marriage, or the union of a male and female, is the rock on which society stands.
The Scotland for Marriage campaign, which also included the Church of Scotland, organised protests at Parliament and petitions and postcard campaigns amongst the faithful. It worked. Almost 30,000 no responses came via postcard and petition. Remove those and the figures suggest around 2/3 are for same-sex marriage. Just over 1/3 are against.
Well, I think this is a proud day for Scotland. It's a sunny day and it's a good day. What we've seen is the Scottish Government showing that they believe in equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people, and that they're willing to stand up for it.
Those hoping to get married now await a date. But the timetable for changing the law isn't yet set. The government's best guess, ceremonies may start in early 2015.
Raymond joins us now from the Scottish Parliament. Raymond, this has been massively controversial, as you say. How risky is this for the SNP?
Well, Jackie, it could be very risky. We have the Church of Scotland, the Catholic Church, the Muslim leadership, traditionally very powerful organisations in Scottish society, all saying that ministers have got this wrong today. But Nicola Sturgeon does have some political cover. Despite what the consultation said today, opinion polls do suggest a majority of Scots back reforming the law. And perhaps most importantly of all, we think that a majority of MSPs back introducing same-sex marriage as well. But they are going to struggle. Opponents will not give up. 500 parishes across Scotland next month will be asked to join in the Saving Marriage campaign, special collections to help fund that campaign, because their fight will go on. If you think about the timetable for this, perhaps introducing same-sex marriage in early 2015, well, just a few months beforehand, the SNP government hoped to have won an independence referendum. If this continues to be a big row, it could distract attention and perhaps even voters from that. And that really could be risky for the SNP.
Thank you very much, Raymond. There's been widespread condemnation of Glasgow's new Catholic Archbishop after he suggested the death of Labour MP David Cairns last year may have been connected to the fact he was gay. Bishop Philip Tartaglia made the remarks 3 months ago and today apologised for any hurt he may have caused. Tonight, politicians and Mr Cairns' former partner say the Archbishop was wrong to suggest the link. Our social affairs correspondent Rival Alderson reports.
It was only yesterday that Philip Tartaglia was announced as Archbishop Designate of Glasgow. But the applause had scarcely died away when remarks made at a conference in Oxford caused controversy. In a recorded session which has just come to light, Bishop Tartaglia queried the relationship between the physical and mental health of gay men.
Recently in Scotland there was a gay Catholic MP died at the age of 44 or so, and nobody said anything, and why his body should just shut down at that age.
That man was Inverclyde MP David Cairns, a former Catholic priest. When he died last year, Bishop Tartaglia helped organise his funeral. Today, a spokesman said his remarks had been taken out of context and that he's apologised. He's sorry for any hurt which has resulted, said the statement. There was certainly no offence or judgment intended in his words. It hasn't satisfied the MP's former partner.
His primary purpose was to make a broader point about public policy and to use the tragedy of David's early death to do that. And if he doesn't understand why he needs to show contrition and apologise for that, I'm very sorry for the man.
David Cairns was a former Scotland Office Minister. Today, his UK party leader also criticised the Archbishop-designate's remarks.
The Archbishop is wrong, and I think that's why he's right to say that he regrets what he said, because, as I say, I don't think it's right. I don't think it reflects either David's life or the life of gay people across Scotland or elsewhere, and I think he's just wide of the mark, and you know, I hope he'll come to see that, and I think there is evidence that he's coming to see this, that it was the wrong thing to say.
Yesterday, the Catholic Church appointed a new leader for its largest diocese. Today, he's reflecting on the way his public pronouncements will be viewed. Revel Alderson, reporting Scotland.